Welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're going to be cooking with Donald Smiley's Tupelo honey. One of my favorite dishes growing up, I think it's a very classic American dish, is a honey baked ham. So I have my ham here. We make our own at our butcher shop in New Orleans. So whole leg hams, we have pork shoulder hams. And a ham basically, it's brined and smoked and cooked. So all you need to do to it is just to warm it through. And that takes 45 minutes to an hour, around 350. So for my glaze, what I have here is, of course, the honey. And I have some Louisiana brown sugar, natural sugar. You can use brown sugar too, but this is unrefined, real deal sugar here, which is great. Look at that stuff. So I'm gonna put a few tablespoons of that in here, a cup of water. And I have the spices here. They look somewhere around a half a teaspoon to me. Ground clove, some nutmeg, some cinnamon, some fresh coriander from my garden, and cayenne, because I always like a little bit of heat in my food. And I'm just gonna pour all that straight in. I'm gonna mix that together. That little taste. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you put this in here, you don't want it too thick with honey and sugar because it'll get too brown. So you need the water to kind of facilitate the heat for just a minute to warm it up. Make sure all the sugars are melted and all the flavors are combined. This whole glaze thing that I got from cooking Chinese food, Peking duck in particular, is a lot more water and a little bit of honey and vinegar that they glaze and lacquer their ducks with. So it doesn't even need to boil, it just needs to be warm so that there's no sugar granules in it. I'm not going to pour it all on there now, but every 15 minutes I'm just going to kind of add another layer to it. So right in the oven with this, the fan on. All right, in about 15 minutes, I'm gonna check. See, yeah, look at that. Oh, it's glazing nicely. So the great thing about local honey, and what I learned from seeing Donald in Florida, was it's really important where the bees are getting their honey from. It's a very natural product. There's nothing added to it. This is really pure honey, and you can really taste that real clean flavor that comes with it. There we go, sticky and yummy. I'm gonna reserve just a little bit for after slicing. Now we've got this thing lacquered. Now, I wanna get all those bits that baked into the bottom of this pan and got all gooey, see that, like tar? Put the rest of our lacquer in there. And as this heats up, this will start coming off. Also a really great way to clean your pan. I don't know if you've had the experience of scrubbing something like this off a baked ceramic dish, but it's not very pleasant. I do this with chicken. Basically anything that I cook that's meat driven, if I can scrape it off the pan and turn it into a sauce, that's a good thing. It's not that we're trying to thin this out, but we're using the water to facilitate a boil and then pour back into this pot. Just kind of reducing it. I don't want to do it too much. I want it to get bitter. So it looks like we just made some molasses. And that cayenne, that little pinch that I put in there, is really this has to be intense, you see, because it's going over the ham. Nobody's eating this as soup. And it's got a beautiful back heat to it. Can you hear the ooh and ahs? Oh my God, look at that. Beautiful baked ham.